I hate podiums, so I hope you don't mind. I'm a mover. I like to kind of get out here and move around, and if I make you uncomfortable by standing too close to you, don't worry. I'm a doctor. I know how to take care of things. So I'm very humble to be here because I'm always fascinated. Somebody wants to hear about my life. My kids, sometimes tone me out. My wife tones me out. That's what happens when you get married. But seriously, it's a great thrill to be here. We're going to have fun with this talk. This is not, kind of a dull, kind of talking head up here. This is an interactive thing. So I kind of frame this talk as just thoughts. What do I wish someone had told me way back when, because, I think, unfortunately, in college, you're expected to know what to do, right? You're supposed to come out of high school. You're supposed to know, I'm going to be X, Y, Z. Guess what? I didn't have a clue. Okay? So my journey started here. I think you guys recognize this lovely place. Whoops. Got too aggressive with the red pointer here. So this is our beautiful campus, right? A little bit different shape and look, a little bit back then, correct? There's, I think, a dorm down here now. So that was more what it looked like when I went here. I started, and I call it a journey. It's a journey, okay? It really, truly is a journey. And I had to answer some fundamental questions. So, as do you. What do I want out of my life? And the little red thing's not working here, so let me just walk you through. Did I want money? Did I want fulfillment? Did I want service to others down in the corner? Did I want the prestige? Did I want to be the best of the best? Or did I want that kind of work-life balance? Or was it a combination of all those things, right? So I had to start out with the fundamental of what exactly do I want out of this? So there it was, the financial security, the service to others, the fulfillment, the prestige, the work-life balance, or the combination of above. Fundamentally, I had to decide upon that. So, did I want to do this? Or this? Or this? Or this? Okay? I had to decide. I had many interests. I came out of Iroquois High School up close to Buffalo. I was very involved in student politics. I was involved in sports. Came out, I kind of like science, kind of like law, kind of like business, but didn't exactly know what to do. I had a vision of myself as the next president of the United States. I had a vision of myself as the next great orthopedic surgeon. I had a vision of myself as the next great politician, senator, governor, whatever. I also had a vision of myself as a great lawyer. And guess what? I chose that. That's what I looked like back then. Okay, that's a self-portrait, believe it or not, and Tom Fuqua can abide by that. That looks exactly like me, right? So I'm teasing my pre-med colleagues that might be in the room here because truly, we're not geeks. We have a passion, we have a vision, we have a focus, and you know what? It's not all about the books, as you'll hear in a couple seconds. But I also had an interest in business, so I kind of chose that. Biology major with a business administration minor, and I wanted to get a balance to it. I've got a son who's a senior in high school right now who's actually looking at these types of things, and I will tell you that medicine is somewhat recession-proof. Why is that? People get sick all the time, right? So it really truly is a great business to be a part of. But business is a part of every single sector. Think about that. You need business skills if you're going to go into private practice. If you're part of a school district, business is a part of the school district. Business is a part of non-for-profit organizations. Business is a part of the travel industry, the hospitality industry. Business is a part of everything. Business is the bedrock and the fundamental. So you need to have those types of skills, correct? So a couple of quotes from Mark Twain that really helped me out here. And you know how tough it was to get a purple Highlander background on these slides? It's pretty darn tough. But the first quote, I never let schooling get in the way of my education. Think about that for a second. You got your books, you got your research, you got those things, but it really truly becomes about your education. And your education is being molded by an institution like Houghton, the people you hang around with, and we'll get a little deeper into this. Keep away from people who belittle your emotions and ambitions. Small people always do this, but the great make you feel that you can become great. How many times have each of you in this room been faced with somebody that said, you can't do that? Can't is not a word in your vocabulary, okay? Let me repeat that. Can't is not a word in your vocabulary. Don't let somebody tell you that you can't. I was told once that you can't be a doctor. You will never be a doctor. Guess what? Proved them wrong, didn't it? You know? Proved them wrong. Don't let that happen. Now, one could say somebody needed to put a little pressure on me to get that way, to motivate me that way, correct? But can't is not in my vocabulary. Last quote. Always do great. No matter what you do, do it well. Do it with passion. Do it with ambition. Do it with gratitude to God, because God put you in that position for a reason. But do it very well. All right? That will gratify some people, and what's next? Astonish the rest. Really bring it on, okay? I say this often to the medical students and residents that kind of shadow me. Every day is showtime. And showtime was the LA Lakers, and they won all those championships. You got to bring it every single day, okay? So I graduated from Houghton and had this journey that I spoke to you about. So I came out of here with biology, got hired right away by the Erie County Department of Health, where I was a part of milk and water testing. And that was to analyze, whether there were foodborne illnesses. And I had some pretty interesting, things where wells had lots of E. coli and salmonella and things like that. Pretty cool stuff. But unfortunately, Erie County went through a rather tragic time, and they had huge layoffs. And guess what? I got laid off. Trust me, being in an unemployment line is one of the most humbling experiences you'll ever go through. I lasted one time at the unemployment office. I got hired to a yogurt company, which is down below here. It's Steuben Foods, who at that time was in partnership with Kellogg's and was making a yogurt called Whitney's Yogurt. And I got to be a part of this giant organization which is called Kellogg's. And Whitney Yogurt was a very popular yogurt, say that a few times, along the East Coast. My job was to make sure that blueberries got in blueberry cups, not boysenberries in blueberry cups. I had to make sure the cherries got in the cherry cups, not cherries in raspberry cups, that kind of stuff. I very quickly realized that, you know what, I don't want to do this the rest of my life. I need more. So I said, God, please help me understand where I should go. So God said, medicine looks good to you. Let's go for it. So I chose, and I put up on the slides here, DO is a little bit different than MD. And an osteopath is actually somebody who's very interested in the holistic aspects of medicine and the holistic aspects of the care of the person. But I can also crack backs like a chiropractor, okay? So that's some of the difference. It's a fundamental difference of the whole body along with the musculoskeletal components. So that's why I show somebody pushing on the back there. So I went out to Kansas City, Missouri to medical school. Now, people have asked me, what about the local medical schools? I applied. I waited some more. Actually got accepted to UB 2 weeks after I started classes out in Kansas City. And at that point in time, I had a fundamental choice to make. Do I come back and lose, rent and some other things? And I stayed. And it probably was part of God's plan, because I met a beautiful woman out there who's my wife. We've been married for 23 years. I was telling Tom Fuco a second ago, or should I say Professor Fuco at times, whatever. He's a classmate and a great guy who, the 4 years we were here, we hung in the same group. So I'm thrilled to have Tom here tonight, and can't say enough how much I love you and appreciate you. So I really mean that. But I met this beautiful woman at a heart transplant, and we've been married since. So one can argue that she stole my heart. Okay. I had a wonderful medical school experience. I had the great joy of being able to move around the country. I actually was a flight surgeon for the 126th Flight Squadron out of Wright-Patt Air Base. I've been up in an F-14. I've been up in an A-10. I've been up in an F-22. Very, very, very cool stuff. Going a couple Mach upside down is kind of fun. Okay? And of course, the pilots, because they knew I was the doc, they wanted to see if they could make me throw up. So they do all sorts of spins and moves and stuff like that, but it was real cool stuff. That is not up there. I figured I'd just tell you about it because it gave you pictures on the other stuff I've done. I've delivered 22 Cherokee Indian babies myself. Very haunting, very scary, but you know what? Cool. Orthopedic surgery. I put hips in people. I put knees in people. Very cool stuff. I did cardiology at St. Luke's Hospital. It was the first CCU in the world and the first place that had color flow echo, which is a very cool thing. You can actually see blood flow across the heart valve with different colors. Real cool stuff again. I did internal medicine in Tampa, Florida. Why I reference that is medicine in Florida is very interesting. A lot of sick people and a lot of weird stuff. Parasitic diseases, tuberculosis, things like that. So I really got the taste of what the world of medicine is about. So the bottom is the knees that I've dealt with, the hearts I've dealt with, and the babies that I've dealt with. So now I had to go into residency. Again, one of those times where you have to decide what the heck you want to do the rest of your life. Lord, where do you think I should go? I was struggling with internal medicine and orthopedic surgery. I loved orthopedic surgery. It's like building stuff. It's really cool. It's carpentry in the body. However, God spoke to me in a language I understood, said, you need to go into internal medicine because they need primary care physicians in this world. Okay, who am I to argue with the good Lord? So these are pictures. This is Harrisburg. I don't know why the little red thing's not working. Then there's downtown Buffalo. A great, great, great city. It's been a part of my life, and I am going to struggle greatly to ever leave there again. But I did internal medicine at University of Buffalo in a primary care track. Internal medicine's great stuff. And I was the first chief resident who started in the first half of his third year. Internal medicine residency is 3 years. At the end of my second year, they made me a chief resident, which is odd. I think because I had a year ahead at Harrisburg. And in Harrisburg, I did pediatrics, I did surgery, I did orthopedics, I did ENT, I did everything. But it was a little bit odd to be a chief resident. Again, I think part of God's plan. So I'm giving you the journey, and then I'm going to give you the pearls of wisdom with. I joined healthcare plans, as you heard, and practiced medicine, and I have a wonderful experience with that. I was recruited to be a medical director in Alden, became an associate medical director at Univera, started out at UB and had a great career in academics, became the full-time medical director at Univera, and now I'm the chief medical officer. And what does that mean? It's a lot of health policy. It's a lot of working with employer groups such as Houghton, trying to help physicians achieve quality in medicine, trying to get efficiencies in the medical health system. I have a lot of meetings on these types of things. I was actually with KPMG last night on some of the aspects of the Affordable Care Act and accountable care, and I know these are all buzzwords, and I don't want to bore you with it, but it's a lot of policy in getting into administering better health care. You heard the reference to Fund to Be Fit. That was a program that myself and one other individual came up with to encourage kids to get more fit and exercise. We targeted second graders, third graders, and fourth graders. Why? They're little seeds that you can plant in the ground, they grow and they sprout, and they really engage well. And so what we did with them is we took, in the second year, we exposed them all about the importance of getting involved with their food groups. And then in the third year, third grade, all exercise. Motion is lotion. I used that term earlier tonight. And in fourth grade, we take them to Wegmans